So people are going about saying planet is in peril. It's not that we are also not going to be extinguished, but we will bring huge suffering upon ourselves. Well, when this happens, the worst hit part of the planet will be Asia. It is believed out of 200 and odd islands in Indonesia, it is believed over 60% of them will sink. If we do not do this consciously, nature will do it to us in a very cruel way. Correction. At this point of time, if we cannot do the right things, what the hell are we doing? So people are going about saying planet is in peril. Planet is not in peril. The idiotic humanity is in peril. Planet is not in peril. It will adjust itself. Planet knows how to come back. It's just that, it's not that we are also not going to be extinguished, but we will bring huge suffering upon ourselves. Talking about 1.5 degrees centigrade of rise, which is a kind of a compromise decision, we will heat it 1.5 degrees on. Well, when this happens, the worst hit part of the planet will be Asia. Because it is believed out of 200 and odd islands in Indonesia, it is believed over 60% of them will sink. If the water rises anywhere to 2 meters, about 6 to 7 feet if it raises, over 60% of the islands will go down. Where will these populations go? If an island sinks, what's our problem? The problem is, there are too many people on the island, isn't it? If we do not do this consciously, nature will do it to us in a very cruel way. Correction. If we do not do the corrections consciously, nature will enforce it in a cruel way. Not because it wants to make you suffer, that's our choice. It is just that it's a correction. And when corrections happen, some things will be cut out. When some things are cut out, it could be you and me who are cut out. That is a painful process. So we have to do this consciously. This is the time. This is the time I'm saying, because this is for the first time in the history of humanity that we can sit here and communicate to the whole world. At this point of time, if we cannot do the right things, what the hell are we doing? Huh? It's all right. 1,000 years ago, even if we thought right, even if we figured out the right things, we could not tell everybody, we could not communicate to the world, everybody did their own thing. But for the first time, we are able to communicate to the entire population on this planet. Every human being on the planet can be reached in the next half an hour or 1 hour if you wish. When this kind of possibility is there, this is the time to do right things, and we have to do the right things, both in terms of human consciousness, which is the most important thing, because without human beings becoming a conscious entity, when they're in compulsive modes, you cannot stop them. See, people are trying to curtail human aspiration, it's not going to work. People drive Tesla to their office, but they got a beast parked in their garage, all right? Yes. So you cannot curtail human aspiration, but you can definitely control human population. Now this looks like a single pitch from my side and everybody is saying, oh, but we must understand this. Without lowering the human footprint, believe me, on this planet, you thinking in the next 50 years you will make everybody sensible and control their aspirations, what they seek, no, not practical, because the world has not developed in an equal way. What is California? What is India? What is Bangladesh? What is African countries? These are different worlds by themselves. Only now these people are coming to fulfilling their aspirations. You go and talk to them about these things, they will look through you and they will do what they have to do. because they're just now fulfilling their small aspirations. You're not going to control their aspirations. It's not going to be controlled like that. But population can be brought down. And for this you need the cooperation of the existing populations, the religious leaders particularly, because, I think we need to come up with something. Maybe the heaven is overpopulated if you say this. No space out there, so slow down here. The thing is just this: humanity has the intelligence and for the first time the competence to fix things on this planet like never before. We are the first generation who have the necessary competence, intelligence, technology and communication capabilities. The first ever generation who has this competence. We have to exercise this competence. One mantra if you want, we must raise human consciousness. Every human being has to come in contact with this dimension of intelligence within us. Only then we will function in a way that our well-being is not detrimental to something else, not just another human being, to everything else. This is not an ecology class, this is the nature of existence. If your experience is limited to something, everything else unknowingly you will damage. If your experience includes everything, then everything that you do, every action that you do, every breath that you take will be in contribution to everything else. So, bringing this consciousness, not ecological consciousness, just human consciousness, because you're touching the dimension of intelligence which is not bound by memory, not bound by limited experience of life. Whatever we think we know, all of us have limited experiences of life, isn't it? Huh? However even if you read the libraries of this planet, still our experience and knowledge is very limited. The only way we can go beyond this is our identities rise beyond race, religion, nationality, physicality, mentality. Beyond this, if we touch something within ourselves, only then our identities are beyond that. Once our identity is not limited to something narrow, then the way we function is very, very different. This human being is a tremendous possibility. In my perception, I think we are just geared, we have everything in place to become the greatest generation of humanity ever on this planet, because no generation was ever empowered like we are. Are we going to just sit on the threshold and watch, or are we going to make it happen is in our hands? Let's make it happen.